Oh, a Mexican bowl game fiesta and international competition in general south of the border when you look at the Big 12. College football reporter Pete Thamel of ESPN is reporting that the Big 12 is indeed exploring a bowl game setup in Mexico beginning in 2026. In addition to that, the league will also hold regular season men's and women's basketball games between Houston and Kansas in Mexico City, that in 2024. Jerem, what do you think of the latest innovative moves and international flair put on by the Big 12 Conference?
I love it. It's another move into a space that the Big 12 isn't in, that no one's in college athletics, which is going beyond the border. Listen, the Premier League has the best TV rights in the world because they have a product that is wanted internationally. This could be the next move for the NCAA in general, and maybe the Big 12 is leading the step in, hey, should there be countries that have a desire to have TV rights, radio rights, Spanish TV and radio rights, actual games located there, bowl game, soccer, basketball, men and women, as you mentioned. This could be a money-making, and brand-making thing for the Big 12, which is very exciting. I love it, obviously. I have a ton of family that have from Mexico. Like, obviously, there's a personal interest there. But, like, a football bowl game in Monterrey is a great idea. That's one of the sites of the World Cup coming up in 26. They have an amazing stadium there. I love the basketball games. Houston and Kansas. Going to play there in men and women's hoops in 24.
Awesome.
That's next year. And you see the other innovations that the Big 12's been pushing. The Pro Day, that is just one conference Pro Day, the Mexico stuff, the separate basketball rights deal potentially later in 31. Schools across 4 time zones is what they're hoping to get, aka the Pacific time zone, more in-game access they talked about earlier this summer. We're just getting started. We haven't even finished year 1 of Brett Yormark as the Big 12 commissioner. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. The media rights thing, though, is super interesting. I do think at some point BYU is going to play a game in Mexico in some sport. Women's soccer, men and women's basketball, or football. That's exciting. Is it going to be a full stadium of fans who love college football? Probably not. But to push that direction and try and explore if there's something there. Look, it might not even work, but I love that the Big 12 is trying to innovate and push this. And again, what's the sign of a good idea, Spence? When someone says it and you go,
why didn't we think of that before?
Yes, that's a sign of a great idea. I think this is another one.
I would love to see a bowl game in Mexico. I would love to travel to Mexico and watch a bowl game. So while it might not be
Me también.
Mexican nationals and like a full Mexican community watching the game, I can think of, I don't know, probably 30 or 40,000 fans from the respective fan bases that would travel down there and fill the stadium up because it's new and it's exciting and it's warmer.
Especially if you play in Arizona or Arizona State, right? Or a New Mexico type of deal where, hey, you're going across the border. It's not a crazy, flight or drive.
I love it. I love the idea. And this is all under the banner of Brett Yormark.
Yep.
Flying the flag that, hey, I locked in a TV deal as well. Okay, so that was kind of like the initial, hello, I am here. And I just produced a TV deal that is $31.7 million per school in football only, and that's without Oklahoma and Texas, the 2 biggest brands that are leaving for the SEC. So he comes out with that, waving that flag, and has just continued to parade around, and it's been awesome to watch it happen. Don't be surprised to see an NBA Combine happen with the Big 12 Conference either.
Why not? If you do the NFL one, why not?
There's so much happening. And then expansion. He wants to go coast to coast. Yeah, we're going international for a bowl game. He wants to go coast to coast with expansion as well.
We didn't realize coast to coast would be Gulf of Mexico coast with this, which, by the way, correction on what I'm saying. It's more like the Texas schools going down to Monterrey is an 8-hour drive from Waco. So not crazy, right? If you have, say, Houston or Baylor involved in a bowl game there, BYU, international, used to going overseas, whether it's on a mission or just having the fan base live across the world. I
there
think
are a lot of
cool,
direct flights to Mexico from the Big 12 airports.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of BYU fans vacation in Mexico at some point. Yeah,
it makes me excited to think about what's next from this guy.
What is next?
He is an entertainment pushing king, if you will.
He's not a sports AD. No. He's an entertainment, as you said.
Very
AD.
different than that.
He gets it. I think he has a vision that is elevated, and with it comes new ideas. Again, not all of these will hit or be massively successful, but the threat of innovation is a real threat to not only other schools, but conferences' sort of lifeblood, because if you're Colorado or Arizona, this is another thing where it's like the Pac-12 is like, we can't even do our books correctly. Yeah. We got overpaid by Comcast, and we have to pay them back. Meanwhile, the Big 12's like, let's go have a bowl game in Mexico. You know what I mean? Like, the difference between the organization and innovation and forward thinking of the Big 12 versus, say, the Pac-12 or whatever is very different at this point. And there is sort of a intellectual battle, obviously financial battle, more on that in a second, between these two leagues, because if you're those schools in the Pac-12 and you're looking at the Big 12, if you can get more money and they continue to innovate and obviously elevate, you need good teams, you need championships, you need winning, you need culture, you need academics, you need all that stuff. But the Big 12's doing great work. Like, the Big 12 is constantly relevant, it feels like, in the national conversation because they're coming up with new ideas. And they're not just crazy, weird ideas. Ideas aren't good in and of themselves. They have to be good ideas. And I think these are good ideas. I'm excited about this. I think this could be really, really fun. It's groundbreaking in a way. It's different. It's unique. But it's not crazy. Like, playing a couple of games a year in Mexico is not nuts. I would love women's soccer, by the way, to have a game in Mexico. And a reminder, teams in the NCAA play international games all the time. They just don't count, right?
Like, you're talking about a regular season game down there.
That's what we're talking about, right? With men and women's basketball and the postseason, right? Like, women's soccer and volleyball just went to Europe and Africa and played games. They didn't count, but they could count in Mexico in the Big 12.
Jarom, basketball is an incredibly international sport right now.
Totally.
It's starting to rival soccer in some ways. Okay,
we'll never touch it, but it's going that direction.
It's absolutely moving in that direction. Think about the NBA. The last 3 MVP awards.
Yep.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's Greek. And then Nikola Jokic is from Serbia. He's won it twice. Like, international players.
Joel Embiid, Cameroon. Yep.
These are all international players that have been the MVP over the last 3 to 4 years.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. So I would not be shocked at all to see or hear Brett Yormark say, yeah, we're going to play some games in Europe because basketball is massive in Europe. And we're going to take our college stars over there, Kansas, Houston, or wherever. I don't think this is just a Mexico thing. I think basketball and soccer could go across the pond and play in Europe.
Totally. Regular season a little harder with that amount of travel. Like, going to Monterey is like the Texas schools going to Monterey is like BYU going to West Virginia. You know what I mean? It's less than that probably for.
It's a shorter trip.
You know what I mean? Yeah, BYU going to Monterey is probably like going to West Virginia in terms of travel or whatever. Europe is another thing. When it's the NFL and it's one game a week, a little more doable. To blow out sort of, I guess, a week, you'd have to be like, all right, we play Saturday, we leave Monday, and then we play Wednesday and Friday, and we get back Sunday.
What I'm saying is it could be a multi-team event.
Yeah, no, you take multiple teams.
Yeah, a multi-team event over in.
You need at least 2, of course.
London or France or Spain somewhere, and it's like.
You take 4.
This is awesome.
Or something. Or you can do non-conference and just blow out a week and just play in an MT there.
All of these schools are recruiting international players. We're seeing the international game hit college more and more and more. BYU knows it very well, right? Like, we're seeing international stars make their way into the college game.
Yeah, which, by the way, Joel Embiid, Big 12 guy.
Kansas. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Now he's our guy. Topic 2. Who doesn't love a good dumpster fire? Right?
I know I do.
I've never seen a dumpster fire in real life, but we're watching one a little bit with the Pac-12.
This is a fascinating dumpster fire.
Yesterday, throw a couch in there. Yesterday, multiple reports said the presidents of the Pac-12 schools had agreed to the language of a future grant of rights for the league in the post-UCLA-USC era. Later in the day, Arizona President Robert Robbins, it's a real name, refuted that, saying, I have not been informed, quoted, about any information in this tweet. I'm looking forward to hearing from my own commissioner. Do we have a deal? I have been very confident we would all stay together in the Pac-10. He said Pac-10. Well, I was confident we would get a deal. I don't know exactly when we're getting a deal, but I'd say it's a matter of weeks.
Okay.
Robbins was also asked if Arizona would be interested in moving conferences, a.k.a. the Big 12. Depends on what our financial deal is.
Indeed.
I screamed this yesterday. They just are waiting to see that number on the TV deal.
We all knew it. We just want someone to say it, and he did.
He said it. They're just waiting for the numbers, Spence.
This whole situation feels so funny to me because, again and again and again, we see Pac-12 ADs or presidents say, oh, well, we've done this. And look, it's almost like saying, look at our bandage. Isn't it nice?
Look, it's healing.
Look at this. This is good.
They speak words of affirmation as a love language so strong, but it's to themselves.
It's kind of weird. It's like, we're good. We're good.
Our marriage is fine.
Okay.
When you say that a lot, it makes me think maybe it's not.
Something's wrong. If you keep pointing to the dressing on the wound or whatever, like, it's okay. We're taking care of it. See, we're healing.
The scar tissue is forming.
We're taking care of it.
Yeah, look, it's not bleeding anymore. We don't have a blood clot.
Finally, someone said what it's about.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, because we all knew it. We were just waiting for someone to say it. We got to see what the deal is and what the money is. And then I can tell you if we're interested in going to the Big 12 or not.
I thought
the
it was
money's
about
not
academics.
good. Absolutely, we're interested in going to the Big 12. If the money is okay and it's close, then we'll probably stay in the Pac-12.
There was no mention of research institution, which was quite odd to me. Yeah, we're just waiting on that number. If the number's not good enough, and again, I would add, maybe it's not just about the number. Like, if it's all, let's say it's all streaming rights, but it approximated the Big 12 number of 31.7. Let's say it was 27, but it was all streaming. Is that good enough? Are you exposed? Are you being seen? Are you going to have, are bars around the country going to pull up Apple TV Plus to make sure that
or Amazon
Arizona
Prime.
State and Washington is on in Applebee's? That's the kind of exposure that you get in ESPN and Fox, is that the average just random place has your games on. If it's streaming only, but the money's good, is it all about the money? Is it about the exposure? Like what linear brands you're still attached to? The streaming era is upon us, but it is not the dominant force at this point that I think some thought it would be in 2023. Yes, we're all streaming stuff. To some degree on YouTube TV, I'm still streaming ESPN, if you will. But it's ESPN. Like, it's just different. And game day highlights you in a different way than you would have been. What if you're not with ESPN and Fox? Does Big Noon Kickoff and game day even mention you in the same degree? Do you take a hit in terms of just in the conversation relevance from that point? And at that point, if it's not good enough for Arizona, who, by the way, said, yeah, if we go, we'd probably be with Arizona State. Like, that was brought up too. Do they then make the move? And the Big 12 is primed and ready for, if they want to join the Big 12, they would be there.
I talked to you about this yesterday, and I'm going to defend the Pac-12 a little bit.
How dare you on this? I'm just kidding. I don't care.
They just lost the Los Angeles market with USC and UCLA. It's the second biggest market in America. And I know people are like, TV markets are overrated. When it's a top 2 market, it's Los Angeles, and you just have so many television homes and people. 8 million people in Los Angeles alone, not to mention the whole Southern California area. The Pac-12 has no presence in Los Angeles right now. This is making it incredibly difficult for them to negotiate what the conference is worth when you don't have not just your 2 biggest brands, Jerem, but the Los Angeles market. The Big 12 lost Austin and Oklahoma City. Those are not Los Angeles. They lost the 2 biggest brands. Texas and Oklahoma are huge. They're not dealing with losing Los Angeles. That's really, really difficult for George Kliavkoff and the Pac-12 to navigate. What is the deal worth if you don't have LA? That's and tough. I think that's the massive hang-up here is, well, we feel like our brands are good, and they are. Come on, Washington, Oregon,
Still
Utah,
good.
those are great brands. LA market, no USC, UCLA. Oh, that's brutal to overcome.
I would argue Oregon is the huge brand. Washington's really good. Utah's emerging. Not in the same sort of national scope as Washington quite yet.
But solid
like
programs, good brands.
Yeah, Stanford and Cal, super strong. Yeah, Stanford has a massive brand as well. Yeah. But in the end, the Big 12 seems to have survived the loss of the Burnt Orange and Boomer Sooner quite well so far.
Yeah, LA's like
better than I thought, honestly.
The Big Ten's like, hey, we just got a bunch of the LA market to sign up for packages that have the Big Ten network.
They're like, oh, we're making up for Rutgers and Maryland.
There you go.
Finally.
There you go.
They've not been hurting financially for a while, in spite of that.
It just gets better for them.
It just gets better.
It just gets better and gets worse for the Pac-12.
Yeah.